welcome to another quick video by me. This one's going to be going over the 2 amps and the way that I, at this point in time, send a signal to both. So I'm going to jump to a video in a bit showing just a quick illustration of the signal path through my pedal board. The pedal board is still the same. If you've seen my previous pedal board videos, then you'll know that setup. If not, I'll put a link in the top corner. I was trying to think which corner it would be. That one up there. Nowish, and I've just noticed there's a fucking great spider on my window. And yeah, but if you are aware of that, all's good. So yeah, I'm going to be using the Blackstar as per usual. Again, if you've seen any of my other videos, then you will know that my standard setup is a Blackstar HT Srudio 20 through a Zilla 2x12 cab. And then the second amp is the Vox, which again, if you'd have seen a couple of previous videos, you'd realise that I was lucky enough to win one in a competition run on Instagram by Walrus Audio. Again, I shall put the link up there. But yeah, so jump into it. Quick demo of the signal path. Right, so the signal path, relatively, it's one of those things, isn't it? When it's your board, it seems fairly straightforward. You'll notice the sound quality is a lot different now as well, because obviously I'm just recording through the phone / camera, and that's a lot closer to me than it was on top of the amp, and you haven't got the amps on in the background, so the background buzzing, etc. isn't there. Right, so signal path from guitar. You'll see the lead waggling around, goes into the bottom of the pedal board, under the board, and then it goes into the black eye, which is just like a clean boost, and then from the black eye it comes out and into the input of the Joyo looper, and then from there the signal, generally speaking, goes through all the various ins and outs through all these various pedals. But anyone who's used one of these or watched any of my videos of these will realise that it has a tuner out. And the tuner out has 2 settings. So in this, guys, with the mute button not lit up and the tuner active LED not lit up, I think I said button earlier on, but the tuner active LED not lit up either, it is purely the Joyo that's getting the signal, i.e. in my case the Blackstar. Click mute once and mute is not lit up, so the signal is still going through all these ins and outs, well, the ones you have turned on anyway, to the Blackstar, and the tuner is also active. So in theory, I can now tune my guitar, which was out of tune. But then that means there's a signal going to the Blackstar and the tuner. So, as you can see, there's a sneaky little lead out of the tuner. So when the tuner isn't activated, the signal comes through it and goes, in my case, to the Vox via the input to a Rovwell Tornado. Output is, if you can see it just about, it's one of those Fender braided cables which then goes out over there somewhere. I can't see it because the timer's over it. So yeah, in this situation with the mute LED out, the tuner active LED on, there's signal going through this to the Blackstar still. I'm pointing over there to the Blackstar, and there's the car alarm going off outside. And the signal's going to the tuner also, which is, in my case, going to the Vox. And it's not my car, thankfully. So yeah, that's the benefit of it. So in my case, the lead comes into the Earthquaker, from the Earthquaker into the input, and to the Blackstar through all these many pedals. Well, it in fact goes, loop 1 is the Fuzz and the Crybaby, in that order. Loop 2 is the JHS Model Soul Food. Loop 3 is the Long Amp Bears Blair. Loop 4 is the TC Electronics Nova Modulator. Loop 5, or the second loop's loop 1, because I have these 4 going through the optional effects loop that you can run through the Joyo, is the Walrus Audio ARP87, then the TC Electronics Flashback, then the Strymon El Capistan, and then into the Moonraker reverb. I may put one of the reverbs, potentially the ARP87, because it came with it, only seems fitting, through the Vox, so I can have different delays, different amps. So that's it, signal path. Pros and cons. The main pro is I haven't had to buy anything else. The main con is, and I'm probably going to speak about this in the other part of the video anyway, is that there's 2 cons. Firstly, there's no ground lift. In a decent ABY pedal, you get what's called a ground lift switch. Because when you're running 2 amps from one guitar, you're obviously sharing an earth and things get mixed up and you end up just with a lot of background noise, a lot of bad earth noise. So a lot of extra buzz, which I definitely do. When I turn on the Vox, if the Blackstar's already running and I turn on the Vox, the buzzing from or the background noise from the Blackstar definitely increases. And so that's a biggie. And secondly, which is a bit of a minor gripe, but not one to cry about at this point in time, is that there is no shortcuts to switch to various settings, to switch to the Vox. So to go to the Vox setting from Blackstar, this is the Blackstar setting, I've got to go through the middle setting. So I've got to go Blackstar, Blackstar and Vox, Vox. And then again, the same, if I then want to go Vox back to both amps, I've got to double click. Which, in practice, it depends what you're playing, but it's just not a practical thing, if you know what I mean. If you've got a decent ABY, you can click on your Y setting, which splits the signal in 2, and powers both amps, and still select in the background kind of thing, which of the A or B you want it to go to once the Y setting is turned off. So yeah, you can quickly whiz through it, but there's a lot of room for error. So that's it. So back to the demo, I suppose. And so yeah, that's the signal path. So you see the sort of pros and cons. I mean, the main pro is that I haven't had to buy another piece of equipment, i.e. a ABY selector. But that's something that I may well do or make myself, simply because of the cons of the sort of ground lift, etc., and the not being able to jump back to a certain setting. But anyway, sound bites, we'll get straight into this. So, as per usual, Blackstar HT Srudio 20. I've mic'd it up, independent microphones. Blackstar's to the left as I look at it, and Vox is to the right, so that's how I've panned the microphones slightly. Just 2 mics in front, about 8 inches from the speaker, just slightly off centre. And both the mics are just those cheap, newer NW800s. So yeah, Blackstar, through the Zilla, clean signal, bridge humbucker. So hopefully you should hear that through primarily the left speaker. and then to a Vox. Again, to get to a Vox, you see, I've got to go through the double amp middle setting, which is slightly annoying. And the Vox is set up. I use the top boost setting of or top boost input of the Vox. I'll put a picture up now, if I can, of the control panel, because it has a normal input and a top boost. I use the top boost primarily because it's just got more tweakability. I think that's a word, if not it is now. And I use it at a slightly broken up, what I would call slightly. Some people have probably too much gain already, and then, as I've explained in my previous video, I then boost that by the Rockwell Tornado, and then if need be boost both amps with a black eye. So bridge humbucker through the Vox only. And so then, again, having to cycle through, but now, as I've explained, the mute button or LED is not lit up, but the tuner LED is lit up. So that means there's a signal going through the Joyo to the Blackstar and a signal going to the tuner. And you'll have to excuse me, so I'm probably going to sneeze. I sneezed. So this is now both amps in their relatively clean state, as in the Blackstar is fairly clean and the Vox is a bit gritty. But then you get the option, should I say, of Blackstar overdriven, Vox in its state. Or sorry, I'm on a different bank on my pedal board because I'm using the ARP 87, the Walrus Audio ARP 87, for something else. So this is the Blackstar clean, but the Vox overdriven with the Tornado. Or the money shot would be both amps overdriven. And that was using the ARP 87, as I explained, on that sort of bank, using the feature, if you hold down the tap tempo, it gives kind of infinite trails. But then that also brings you nicely on to using pedals through the Blackstar and using the Vox as a relatively dry amp, hence the kind of wet and dry aspect of having two amps. Dry being it's just pretty much its pure signal other than the Rothwell, and the Blackstar being the wet amp, as in it's saturated with pedals and various different signals. But yeah, so a demo of that. So the Blackstar is going to be using the JHS Soul Food into the Nova modulator, TC Electronics Nova modulator for a bit of chorus, into the Walrus Audio ARP 87, and then into the Moonraker long amp reverb. So yeah, that gives a good idea of that. The only other thing I haven't demonstrated is really the black eye, but that is just a little bit of a punch. I'll quickly show you on simply the Vox. So you get Vox, Tornado, and black eye. And then if you have both on, so without the black eye, with. I'm literally tap dancing. The whole aspect of the Joyo is like to stop tap dancing, but I'm having to tap dance. Put my plectrum down on camera, massive faux pas. So yeah, that is it, I think. Pretty sure it's kind of what I wanted to cover. And yeah, of course, I was using my lovely little old Gordon Smith GS2. Used the neck pickup coil tapped a lot of the time throughout that. Lovely guitar, brass nut. Only real upgrades, I've put a Tunematic style wraparound bridge on, and it's got Schaller tuners, and that's it. It's a plank and it's a Warhorse, and I've had it over 20 years, which is a fair while for me. Anyway, cheers for watching. If you've not seen many of my other videos, please do watch other bits and pieces. And if you find this vaguely interesting, please do subscribe. I don't post a lot of videos, so I'm not going to clog up your timeline with too much of my inane ramblings. Anyway, cheers for watching. Bye bye.